Good afternoon. Sorry? That's better. We meet again. So I'll just be giving you an overview of the IT infrastructure at TAPMI, following which Dr. Manjunath will give you a brief of how the library infrastructure looks like. So IT at TAPMI, this is how we define it in a small nutshell. C and security, high-speed Wi-Fi, I think most of you all would have got your access to it. High-quality devices, you can see that in the labs. You have internet access at your home away from home, that's your hostels. We expect you to be responsible users, and you'll have a lot of quality digital content as well as resources. The infrastructure at TAPMI, the network infrastructure is based on the most modern Cisco backbone. That's what has been put up. We have a 64-seater conference room which can also be used as a virtual classroom. It's got a facility called Look at Me, so that any speaker wanting to speak can actually be focused on. And we've got fully equipped labs. Classrooms are all integrated with IT facilities, and you've got a 24/7 Wi-Fi access. This is how the conference hall actually looks like, the virtual classroom, what we call. A small glimpse of the labs. And yes, this is something what we've always told. This is the Bloomberg terminals in the finance lab. 16 Bloomberg terminals, state-of-the-art lab with around 7 router terminals also included this year. The computer lab, we've got one computer lab at the knowledge center, the ground floor, one systems lab in the knowledge center, first floor. We've got a G1 lab which is in the TAPMI block. We've got one more lab that is at KKPI block. So these are the 4 labs that are available to you, which will serve you as a center when you are going through your Moodle tests. The data center actually has been set up to ensure that it meets the requirements of a world-class industry standard. You've got a campus-wide Wi-Fi, so whichever block you are in, your Wi-Fi is always your next best friend. You've got internet facilities in the labs as well as classrooms. We have got video conferencing facilities, audio-visual facilities in all the classrooms, and I guess you have already been given, most of you have been given your email accounts. Have you got it? So these are the accessibility to the IT resources. If you want to access the intranet portal, you can actually access it on this particular address. This will anyway be made, the details will be given to you. If you want to access your email, it's on the Microsoft Office 365 Cloud, given the link which shows you there. All the details regarding your courses would be on Moodle. The link is available here. The file server and the print server are available on the LAN. You can take printouts based on that. And student information system is also available on the LAN, and you can access it through your Wi-Fi devices. Please note that all these facilities are for the purpose of academic work only, and we stand to it. Ensure that you log out of the system without fail. Whatever things are damaged, we consider them to be sold to you. Be responsible for your equipments as well as the institute's equipments. Ensure that they're kept back into the same state that you have received them in. Just a few norms when it comes to the computer center labs. Ensure that you keep the labs neat and tidy. Please ensure that you do not carry your cell phones and e-tables into the lab. Ensure that you do not disturb anybody or cause discomfort to your colleagues when you're using the lab. The lab at KKPI block usually is open for 24/7, so you can access it anytime in the day or night. But you should ensure that anybody who is using it after 11 p.m. has to procure your identity card, and you have to make an entry into the security logbook. Now, what is made available to you is close to around 50 GB of mailbox and 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage on Microsoft Cloud. So this is where you can actually store your information, whatever you need for your academic purposes. And there's also 1 GB space on file storage on your local drive. So when you log in using your access through the intranet or through your system, you can actually see an N drive onto your computer, and that gives you a storage of around 1 GB. You've got a 24/7 internet and intranet facilities, wireless intranet, and you also have printing services which are available in the library and all the computer labs. Some do's and don'ts. Ensure that you do not download any files of these extensions, because these are the easiest ways to ensure that you get the viruses in. Ensure that you, this is a request, we do not expect you all to use the bandwidth to consume it for entertainment purposes. Use it for academic purposes. And yes, we do reserve the right to block any site at that point of time if deemed necessary. Now, how to access it? I think your login accounts and your email IDs have already been distributed. For I think 3 batches it will be done today. For the rest of them you have already received it. You can also register your Wi-Fi account at the ION help desk which has been set up. So some of you all have already done it. The rest of you all can do it today. If anybody has missed it, you can still touch back with the ION help desk today and get it done. This is the configuration we expect you to have when you're getting your devices in. So at least an i3 processor or anything better than that, maybe an i5 or an i7. Minimum 4 GB RAM with at least 320 GB hard disk. 802.11 wireless adapter. Usually most of these laptops have got it built in, but in case you have a system with a Wi-Fi adapter damaged, you can actually go for an extended one. You can a Windows license or at least a Mac or an Ubuntu license is necessary. You have to ensure that. Office 2016 basic for you to access any documents that are sent across, and ensure that you have a licensed antivirus installed on your system. For any details with respect to the Wi-Fi, you can reach this toll-free number, or you can contact Anup, who is on the site, or Prashant. The contact numbers are made available to you. You can also email it to tapmi@devoice.com. And for any help with respect to the IT infrastructure or IT facilities, you can reach any one of this. My number is not there in this, but it's available on TAPMI's website. You can reach at any point. Thank you.
I saw Thomas Tarakan as first batch student. Today his daughter is here as 35th batch student. Nearly for 1 hour we were talking when the life was in Manipal when he was a student. Now his daughter is seeing the modernized system in Manipal. So right from first batch through current batch, I am witnessing all changes in Manipal and TAPMI. In this small time period, I cannot tell lot about library because it is for you to use the resources for your academic benefit. Because all these 2 days you heard lot about TAPMI innovations. TAPMI meant for innovation, and Manipal is meant for innovation. Library is not an exception to that. Library also falls and stands for a lot of innovations. And many of our experiments have copied by lot of B schools and other schools for their experiment. One is textbook. We started not today, right from inception. In early 80s, we started this concept called textbook. Still is going well, and many colleges are following this model. Like that, we have many innovations experimented in this bare land where no facility was available. It was a self-sustaining, surviving practice. So we survived and improved on that. Now you are witnessing the improved situation from the past. This is one scenario of TAPMI in different lights. One at night, other daylight. Have you seen this building? I heard and have seen from list, some of you are yet to see this building, because I found some 20 students are yet to collect textbooks. That means you have not visited this building. Is there anybody who has not collected the textbook yesterday? You can collect it today. This is a building knowledge center in any academic institute. The promotional aspect is the knowledge center. It boosts on the resources it provides to facilitate learning. So we also strive to help the institute to achieve its goal of excellence in teaching and excellence in students' performance. We don't talk, but we practice. We believe in practice. So we help go beyond the framework to help our student community to achieve academic excellence. Knowledge Center has two wings. One wing has knowledge resources and another wing maintains a mechanism and tools and techniques to help students to access those resources and knowledge hidden in those resources. Some words about this knowledge center. It's a centrally air-conditioned building spread across 3 floors. Many of you might have not seen because you have straight away gone to basement to collect the books. There is one more floor for books which you will be seeing in due course, and a seating capacity of 130 students at a time. And we have comfortable furniture for your long time reading. Unlike earlier, you need not worry about charging your laptops and all because each table has provided charging points. That was a major complaint we received earlier when we allowed laptop to use inside the library. There is no charge points. So we have come over that. Plus, all these 2 days you have heard about teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. So we have a place for you to discuss the learning elements in groups. We have a group discussion room in library basement. This is a bird eye view of ground floor which you have seen. This is the first floor full of textbooks which you can borrow for your home reading, and we have CDs of institutional events, subject CDs which you can borrow, and we have document scanners which you can scan your documents and store in your N drive. Already you heard about N drive. In your folder you can save. All terminals are connected to server, so you need not to worry about desktop saving. You can save your scanned documents in your profile itself. And this basement, though we have excellent high quality e-resources, e-journals, full text, still to meet the requirements of governing body regulatories, we have to maintain print subscriptions. Basement have more of national based print publications published weekly, monthly, quarterly. We have around 280. We are rich with print and electronic resources. Of course, print resources you can see, visit library few times, you can familiar with the system, nature of books and print materials available in the library for your study. But electronic resources which you can access even without coming to library needs some orientation because you cannot see them. So for this purpose, I'll be taking an exclusive session after your foundation courses over to talk about electronic resources and how you can access them. Some basic information. We have total collection of 37,000 books, 280 print journal subscriptions, and more than 15,000 full text e-journals through various databases. And one unique feature of TAPMI is we have preserved these print publication back volumes in bound form. We have around 6,000 back volumes. If you want to see some 1980 where the computer was not existing, A&M magazine, if you want to see A&M magazine of 1984-85, we have that issue in library. And another unique feature of TAPMI is student project reports. We have preserved all student project reports right from batch 1. Thomas Tarakan's summer project reports is available in library. But for preserving with space, we are digitizing all the reports. From 2000 onwards, reports are available in digital format. We have discarded them because of pressure of space, because we want to give you more space for reading. And prior to 2000, we are in the process of digitizing. That also will be made available on net. Brand scan reports, which you might have heard already. We have preserved all these reports right from the first brand scan that is started in 1993. Soft copies are available. You can access them through intranet and library portal. We have an exclusive library portal which you can access on intranet. And all our institutional repository are loaded on library portal, which we are monitoring and updating regularly. You can access without coming to library. They have remote access. SMIC reports started last year, 2005. We have reports both in e and print format, plus the intellectual capital of TAPMI faculty. We have preserved both in print and soft copy. To meet AICTE requirement, we started collecting video cassettes early 80s. That was a requirement of AICTE that we need to have some video cassettes. And those have been converted into CDs. They are available in the CD format. CDs we have around 4,000 which you can borrow. Index is available on library catalog. You can see and you can borrow them. Databases, I cannot show all the 20 which I'll be talking to you separately. We have around 20 high quality databases subscribed for you, our faculty and researchers. Project reports, e-copies available from 2002 batch onwards. Brand scan reports from 1993, SMIC reports. In addition, this is one unique effort we made which you don't find in any B school, including IIMs, that is collection of annual reports. Way back in early 80s, when we started the institute, we understood the importance of company balance sheet to be the important resource for a B school. We started collecting it. Then the companies, there were somewhere in 2005, companies started directing us to download their report from their company website, which we are doing. We are going to company websites regularly and downloading their original annual report from their company website. We have around 5,000 annual reports downloaded from company websites. That is available again on net, which you can access. Faculty publications. For copyright and other issues, full text is not made available to users on net, but on specific request, we give them to our users. Because that's to respect copyright law. That's an important message which is already given in the handbook, but there is slight variation. By the time this year's library timings revised, the book was in press, so we could not make any changes. Please make this change, note of this change. Library opens from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. from Monday through Saturday, but circulation times are from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. only. So after 9 p.m., library is meant for reference only. So only one attendant will be there. He will help you if there is any difficulty, but is more for reference nature and no circulation happens after 9. And Sundays, it is in the afternoon so that you will have some time to read and discuss in groups from 2 to 1 a.m. And 2 to 6 is the circulation time, and after 6 it is for reference. On declared holidays, depending on situation, we decide whether to close or open. Coming to facilities, like any other college, we do have borrowing facility. You can borrow 4 lending books for week's time and 2 reference books for overnight and 2 journal issues which you don't hear from any other college. You can borrow from journal issues also for your home reading. We have, though there is exclusive lab available in the institute for your computing facilities, we have 16 terminals in the library for your benefit to work and take printout. And we have 2 high-speed network printers in library which you can take printout as long as library is opened. 4 document scanners are available for your help. Plus, a traditional service photocopying facility available where you can take photocopies, spiral binding is available, lamination is available, and binding of your project reports or any other report facility is available in Xerox Center. So we have taken care to provide reading space in all the library floors. And there is provision to display new additions to library, faculty publications, and we have subscribed good number of journals and newspapers for you. Because of technology, we are exploiting the technology, and all our communications are through email only. So you receive library communication only through email. So you might have seen there is no notice board for library to communicate library messages. So the entire communication from library goes through email only. Our library circulation is barcoded. We are high-tech library. Unlike your college libraries, we don't give multiple cards for you to borrow books. This is only one library iCard which has barcode that serves all transaction purposes. So whenever you have to come to library, you have to bring your iCard only, which has barcode. That serves a library purpose. Another uniqueness is we have developed a library portal for linking all our internal resources, subscribed resources for our users, not linking their physical presence to library. So anywhere you are in the campus, whether you are in Manipal or away from Manipal, you can access our resources. And we have taken pain to give you remote access also. Plus, all our databases are IP enabled. Hope many of you who are computer literates know what is IP authentication means. It doesn't require login details to access databases. So we have taken pains to make our subscribed databases are IP authenticated so that you are free from remembering login details to access these resources. But still, the 1 or 2 databases which require one-time registration, that I will be telling you when I address you more about e-resources. We have WAPAC, which you can see our library catalog through your laptop. Plus, we have installed a federated search engine, a single Google window to search various subscribed databases on one window. This is what I told you. Our experiment started in early 80s. Textbooks. Hope you have all collected your personal copies. That's your personal copy, because yesterday many people asked, do we have to return this book? Is it for term? No, it is not just for term. It's your personal copy which you can keep for entire course and you can carry with you also. So that's your personal copy, not library copy. And each term in the beginning of the day 1, we give you textbooks so that you will not worry about searching for textbook for your course. Currently, for some technical reasons, we have textbooks in print version. Soon we may move for e-copy also, e-book also. Yes, this is our strength of e-resources. Subscription to academic and corporate databases, memberships and MOUs with various organizations for case simulation procurements like HBS, IMA, Darden, IV, ECCH, etc. Membership with Government of India initiatives like DELNET, NPTEL and NDL, National Digital Library, and membership with SSRN, McKinsey Quarterly, IMF, NCTI, TERI, etc. These are all may not directly related to you, but to help our faculty members to equip themselves to address you with case studies and more of academic literature. In addition, we have excellent resources in library, self-sustaining for your academic studies. Still, if you find any problem not finding the literature of your interest in our resource, either in e-format or print format, we have very strong network to help you. We have local libraries like medical college, because we have healthcare program. If you healthcare students, if you find any difficulty in identifying your literature in our resource, KMC is with us. We can help you to get those resources from KMC, Kasturba Medical College. And for engineers, if you find any difficulty in getting some technical papers, we have MIT with us, which is subscribing lot of engineering and technical databases. We can help you, including IEEE publications. MIM they are all Constituent College of Manipal University, which is again our sister organization and more of a parent to TAPMI. MIM has Emerald Insight. MIC, Manipal Institute of Communication, has journalism and communication related literature, and we have hotel management literature also. So these are all our local libraries. Come to our help whenever we want. Either we can go to them personally for the access, or our telephonic conversation will make things easy. So over telephone, I can get the things done, because all librarians in these local libraries are my personal friends. Second, not only local libraries, all librarians, the librarians of all IIMs are my personal friends. With one mail in the morning, afternoon I get a reply from IMA, IMB and IMK, Kozhikode. By afternoon we get the literature. So that's the nature of network and relationship I have with IIMs. And IJIDR Mumbai, the library is again my close friend. Yeah, coming to team. So because these 2 days we talk about team only. So we don't talk about team, but we work as team, not from today, from decades. All my library colleagues are working with me from decades. So we work as a family members. These are 6 people. Vasu, Murali, Jaya and Shanay. You will be seeing them in library counter frequently. And myself and Ramesh Kamath. Ramesh Kamath is more into facilitating textbooks procurement, because it's a round the year activity. So he will be more involved in textbook procurements. And I will be overseeing the entire activity. So we are the 6 in team working as a family members, not from decades, to help your learning. That's lastly. So we strive and attempt and try our best to make your life more comfortable during your TAPMI life. Not only during your TAPMI, but even when you are away from TAPMI after your graduation, your connect is with library is permanent. You can contact library anytime and we will respond to you. Thank you. If you have any issues with library, if you want to clarify your notes, I am here to address your queries. Or you will see our action, you have already seen yesterday, and you will be seeing our proactiveness in library actions, not in words. Thank you.
We're moving on to something very important now, because the next 3 talks that you're going to have is more student related. It was told to you over the 2 days that we have a lot of committees here. Yeah? Committees that have their heads as students, committees that are run by students. and they are involved in a lot of activities which we believe is important for your holistic growth here at TAPMI. So it's not just the books and the classes or even the cases that you do in class, but also something that gives you on-hand experience. And most of these committees are actually meant for you to be very smart with your interpersonal skills and your temperamental issues and bonding and working together, working for late hours. So here's a question for all of you. How many multitaskers in the room? That's about 50%. How many of you can handle at least 8 activities at the same time? 1, 2, 3. That's it? I don't think we need to have any more talk now. Because when I said 8 activities, what I meant is the 5 core courses that you will be doing. Plus you yourself. Then your girlfriend or your boyfriend. And then the committee. Now, it's only after you finish all this will you have time for committee. If you go in the reverse order, that means committee first, then the girlfriend or the boyfriend, then yourself, and then the courses, you've lost it, legally and royally. So, before I invite the committee conveners to talk to you, I wish to play the devil's advocate. Number 1, you do not compromise with your study time to serve in the committees. Are we very clear about it? Yes. Number 2, there are no extra grades for being a part of the committee. Number 3, attendance or absence from classes because of committee work must be endorsed by the faculty who's in charge of that committee. You will not be able to come in with any document that says, I was present there, but I can't find the professor, so please can you sort of condone the attendance. That's not happening. There is a process we follow at TAPMI, and you please be sure that that's in place. So the conveners will tell you about it when you meet them. There is no exemption from any evaluation component if you're a part of any committee. So let's say there is a placement process or an MIP process, or there is some student activity happening, and there's also the time when your Moodle test or your quiz is slotted. You make sure you are there for the exam. You will not be given a retest because you've been serving in a committee. That doesn't happen. Also, you will be inducted into certain committees soon, and we will watch you in the first term. Those of you who fail to score the required CGPA at the end of term 1 will be ceremoniously told to leave the committee. So if you want to be there, then you make sure you're smart at it. You're smart at your studies, you're smart with your health, you're smart with your time management. Otherwise, all of you know why you are here. It's very important for us to be a part of the committee. That really gives us that edge. But if you can't manage it, then feel free to tell yourself and be very, very straightforward about it and focus on your studies. Being a committee member with a CGPA of 4.8 or 4.9 is not good. But if you've got an 8 point or a 7 point, and if you're a committee member, then being a committee member adds value to it. If you're a 6 pointer, 5 pointer, then our advice is, it's okay, don't be a part of any committee, because committee work needs commitment. Big time, and those who are going to talk to you now will actually tell you that. And it's so gratifying that you feel so proud about yourself. But don't let your other side down. Have I done enough damage? Okay. BrandScan is one of the oldest flagship events of TAPMI, and it's been there for about 20 years now, sir? 25 years, since 1993. We have with us Siddhant Chawla and Ram Pancharya, the convener and the co-convener of BrandScan, who will give you a little more insight into what BrandScan is. Siddhant and Ram.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I am Ram Pancharya, the co-convener of BrandScan. Thank you, Director Sir, and the faculty members for giving BrandScan a chance to interact with the new batch. You all have been welcome to TAPMI multiple number of times by now. Therefore, I will not do the same. Rather, I welcome you, the fresh batch, to BrandScan 2017. Now, what is BrandScan? In the words of our mentor, Dr. Simon George, whom we lovingly called the father of BrandScan, it's a special committee. It's unique. And no other B school in the country offers such a course which defines the meaning of a co-curricular activity to the T. What started as his brainchild in the year 1993 with just one idea and 5 students has today become India's largest market research event conducted by any B school. The year 2017 will also mark the 25th year of BrandScan. From the academic point of view, it's a 3-credit marketing elective in the 5th term of 2nd year. It has the guidance of our mentor, Dr. Simon George, Area Chair Marketing, Gururaj Sir, BrandScan Chairman, Shirshendu Sir, and Vinod Madhavan Sir. We at TAPMI give a lot of emphasis on learning from practice. Though BrandScan is a committee, but TAPMI allows its students to run it like a business organization, a proper market research firm. A highly focused and dedicated team of students comprising of the 1st and the 2nd year are responsible to conduct BrandScan end-to-end at various locations. The onus lies completely on the students for the various activities throughout the year, starting from the acquisition of live projects from corporate clients, acquiring sponsorships, designing the projects, planning and conducting the event, which include vendor management, logistical arrangements, planning and organizing crowd pulling events, making of research reports, getting them validated by our faculty, and delivering the same to the corporate. And all this is not done for free. We take pride in telling you that we rightfully charge our clientele for the projects. The testimony to this is the number of repeat clients that BrandScan has witnessed in the last 25 years. This also brings me to the point that BrandScan is a self-funded committee. We are responsible to manage for our own expenses. Now, I'll show you a small clip about BrandScan, followed by my colleague Siddhant's part. Thank you.
was basically an oversight of what we do here at BrandsCan. But what I am going to tell you now is how BrandsCan has always stayed ahead of the curve by continuously innovating over the past few years. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Siddhant Chawla, and I am the convener for BrandsCan 2017. So the thing is, every time Ram and I, or the conveners preceding us, have gone to the faculty with an idea, the very first response has been, Ghar ja. But that is one of the best responses you can get here. And why? Because that is what TAPMI teaches you. The very first idea you take is raw, untested, and unthought of. But here at TAPMI, they teach you to make actual managerial decisions. And therefore, what is it that we do? Hum log ghar jate hain. Then we think, we come up with the various alternatives, measure the criteria, and come back with a finely owned and refined idea. And if you're good enough, if your idea is good enough, and if you're convincing enough, no one over here will ever say no to you. We started off with Manipal, as you all saw in the video, and then, when the rural markets rose, in that year, the team came up with the format of Kundapura. Next came the IT boom, and after that, the middle class rose, and therefore, Bangalore was born. So what is it that we are going to do different this year? Well, for one, we are doing away with Kundapura because we want to concentrate on the student-driven and middle-class demographies. In addition to this, we also plan to add product testing and digitalization so as to have an easier interfacing with all our clients. Now let me tell you about what is different about this. Market research to sab karte. There are people who probably do it better than us. We've got an AC Nielsen, and we've got many other such consulting agencies. How many of you have been to a fair, a normal fair, and played games in a stall? I'll take that at a rough 80%. Now what if I tell you that you played the game at the stall, won your gifts, went back home happily, but every moment in that stall was closely and minutely monitored and duly noted? Yes, you went to the stalls, won, played, but we conducted our market research. And that is the USP of BrandsCan, the disguised format of games. But that is not the only thing that we can stick to throughout our years here. Have we had imitators in other B schools? Yes. Have they failed? Well, yes. But that cannot make us complacent. We have to go forward, we have to stay away of the curve, ahead of the curve, sorry. So therefore, the product testing, the digitalization, in sync with the current disguised games format. Now let me give you a small example. How many of you have seen the Little Hearts packaging, the red and gold? Yeah, quite a few of you. Eat food? Must have seen it. Fast track, accessories, watches, bags, and all of a sudden, helmets. As Professor Sudeep pointed out yesterday, and was pointed out today too, quite a few of y'all are fans of the various tapris along Manipal. A lot of y'all might be needing mint after that, and therefore at least 90% of y'all would have heard of Polo. Polo's come up with a 2 rupee packaging a few years back, which makes it easier to buy because you don't really want to eat that much. What if I tell you that each of these concepts, each and every one that I just mentioned, and many more, were conceptualized here at BrandsCan by a team of hardworking PLs. We've got brilliant project leads coming up every year, leading a team of 10 seniors and 10 juniors. And they do these projects and make our reports. And behind all of this is one of the sturdiest faculty supports you'll have seen. We've got Professor Simon George, and as all the team members fondly call him, our brand dad. In addition to that, we've got various marketing chair faculties who will not only sit with you during BrandsCan, but before and after, and continuously support you. Just recently, last week, we had Jayanti ma'am sitting with us for tea, just so that she could understand what we wanted to do. See, they don't get any extra credits for this. It's a course for us, but they'll always support us. And that is what we appreciate. So taking things forward, and coming back to college, some of you will be fin majors, some will be ops, some will be HR. But each and every one of you is going to be touched by BrandsCan. And if you feel that I'm boasting or I'm too arrogant to say this, then 1 year down the line, when you all step up for your MIP placements, and 6 months preceding that, when you step up for your final placements, meet me, look me in the eye, and tell me that you don't have, almost 90% of y'all don't have a brand scan on your resume, and I'll eat my words. Once again, I'd like to thank all the faculty members for providing us this opportunity to pitch to all the juniors, and I'd like to thank all of y'all for bearing with us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Really motivating. Good luck with that. We move on to one of the most cited and the most important labs on the TAPMI campus. It produces people who are called champions, not just experts. I'm going to invite Archana Kulkarni, Bhargavi Mittal, and Kartikeya Srivatsav to tell you a little bit about the Bloomberg Lab, and they've called it an overview of the Bloomberg Championship Program.
Good afternoon, respected faculties and first-year students. I am Kartikeya Srivatsav, and along with Bhargavi Mittal and Archana Kulkarni, represent one of the 3 Bloomberg champions for TAPMI for the year 2017 to 2018. Now, I'll be talking about TAPMI Finance Lab, which is one of the biggest buzzwords around TAPMI campus. You will be hearing every professor talking about TAPMI Finance Lab. It's like one of the biggest USPs we have in our campus. It's one of the most innovative things we have ever done. And let me tell you that we have the biggest finance lab in the country. No business school has a bigger finance lab than TAPMI. We have 16 Bloomberg terminals, and coming this year, we have 7 Reuters terminals. So that's huge. That's 23 terminals put together. Now, these terminals are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So, like, literally, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Now, what is Bloomberg? And what is Reuters? Like, why are we talking about these terminals? Now, Bloomberg, Reuters, these two are the biggest data warehouses for the corporate world and the stock markets. Suppose you have to take data for past 50 years for Tata Steel. How will you do it? What if I tell you you can do it with just a click of a button, and there you have it, like 50 years of day-to-day stock prices movements of Tata Steel, there, bang. Now, I can always tell you that you can do it for the company, but imagine if you can do it globally for all the companies, for all the countries. Imagine the amount and wealth of data that you will have in your hands. Now, it's not just about collection of data. It's about analysis of the data. At Bloomberg, we have expert Bloomberg analysts who guide you towards how the data is interpreted. You can interpret your own data. It's an amazing opportunity. It's like if TAPMI Finance Lab is the church for the finance people at TAPMI, then Bloomberg terminals are the Bibles. Now, coming towards various other functionalities, other Bloomberg champions will be taking over.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Archana Kulkarni, one of the Bloomberg champions of this year. Going ahead with what Kartikeya was telling about the various Bloomberg functionalities, the amount of analysis, the amount of research and everything that can be done through the Bloomberg terminals is phenomenal. We have one of the most dynamic news functions. The Bloomberg terminals consolidate news and articles over all the acclaimed sources like New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, and you have everything right there in front of you to look for whenever you want to. The Bloomberg terminals might seem daunting for a lot of us. The actual amount of data and everything might seem very daunting. So Bloomberg has one of the best help functions. So if you're stuck anywhere, just the live chat services can give you the solution in a record time. Bloomberg also allows you to download all the data you have into your spreadsheets. You can do all kinds of analysis and come up with your own conclusions. So that's about the functionalities of Bloomberg. Now we want to talk about our experiences. So Bhargavi, Karthike and I, we've been inducted into the Bloomberg Championship program in February. So in this short amount of time, the amount of learning, the experiences and everything that we've had has been phenomenal. The whole Bloomberg Championship program, it's all a lot about collaboration, it's a lot about teamwork. We work very closely with each other, we work very closely with Madhu sir, and we are always on the lookout for ideas and initiatives that can help the finance at TAPMI. We work very closely with Samnidhi, with TJAF and Fin Forum and everything, and we are there at all the events, we are on the ground and we are working through all the events and every activity that TAPMI has. Through the next one or two terms, we will be working with each one of you, and we will be showing you the basic functionalities of Bloomberg and everything. But through this also, we will be on the lookout for the next 3 Bloomberg champions. We will be on the lookout for 2 PGDM and 1 BKFS Bloomberg champion. The whole idea about Bloomberg is that we want someone who is proactive, someone who can juggle studies with a lot of other activities. I speak for all 3 of us when I tell that it's been a very challenging 3 or 4 months. With studies, we are involved in every activity, in every event, and we have to be on the job 24/7. That's what the Bloomberg Championship program is all about. I want to say that the TAPMI Finance Lab, it's been a hub of activities throughout the year. To talk more about the activities, I invite Bhargavi.
So, hello everyone. I hope these guys did not scare you much about it. So, if at all you are scared, I'll take you towards the fun side of Finance Lab at TAPMI. So, how we integrate the Finance Lab with the academic courses at TAPMI. So, we have this SMIC, Student Managed Investment course, which only a handpicked few students come and participate into. So, yes, here we invest the money which is given by TAPMI into the stock markets. Yes, you heard it right. So TAPMI do provide us a fund where we invest into the stock market, and it gives you a glimpse of how the life of a stock market trader would be. Then we have Samnidhi, which is a full-fledged firm which is run by students and for the students. So it has a CEO, CIO and CRO, CMO and an HR team which selects this analysts, and they continuously engage in labs and use terminals for this stock picking. So we managed to generate a very great return last year. I take pride in telling that because I am also a Samnidhi member, a senior analyst there. But I'll not disclose that figure. The Samnidhi team will come up next and they'll tell about you the return they managed to generate last year. So talking about the fun side, we have Friday night series, coffee, cookie and conversations. So because we don't like it to be formal every time and we don't like to be serious all the time, we have this events initiated by the Finance Lab. So students actually come up in pajamas and watch movies sitting on the bean bags in the Finance Lab. If you have visited the Finance Lab, then you'll be able to see that. So we have the discussions on various upcoming topics on GST, Bitcoin and blockchains. So I would say these things add a lot of value to your CV, helps you in shaping your perspective, because when you go for recruitment and sit for placements, these things help you a lot because you have a point of view which you can talk with recruiters. So TAPMI Finance Lab promotes it. So what you have to look forward in 2017 and 18 this year, we have Bloomberg Market Concept Certification. It's a really amazing certification, I would say. I have taken up and my batch has taken up this course. So it helps you in strengthening your economics and finance basics, and it's a very good value addition on your CV. So you can exploit the terminals by doing this certification. Then we integrate the courses with Bloomberg. Very soon you'll find out that how we use the terminals for doing our project work and all. So I hope this is not as scary as it seems for you all, but if it is, we are there to help you all. We constantly provide you with trainings. For our batch also and for you also, we three will be providing some basic training on how Bloomberg is being used and what basic functionalities of Bloomberg. So it's a very powerful tool, as told by Karthik. I would say many times we don't realize it, but after we graduate, we realize the importance of it, but then we don't have the terminals at our disposal. I'm in constant touch with my seniors who constantly ping me at night also to tell me to send a particular data about the company. And then they realize that how useful the terminals were. So while this 2-year term in your PGDM, I would advise you to strictly go through the terminals, explore as much as data as you want, and be there, because the lab is open 24/7, 365 days for you, and to have a great learning experience. Have discussions there. So we also have industry stalwarts coming in the lab and telling about the careers in finance, telling about the markets, telling about the recent events. So it helps you and provides you an opportunity for networking, for engaging discussions, and helps you in shaping your point of view. Then we have TAPMI's Bloomberg Olympiad 2017, and we have events like Phenomenal, which is one of the biggest finance conclaves in India, I would say, and Infinity, which is another finance event which is organized by a Tharwa committee. So here you get an opportunity to unleash the manager in you and take the positions of CEO, CFO, and take their positions and come up with solutions on the problems that the competitions provide you. So you get an opportunity here to compete with the B schools. So just to tell about our experience, so Bloomberg Championship Program is one of the unique things that TAPMI has, and it has helped me personally in shaping my personality, in building my confidence and networking. Of course, I would say it is a tough program and it is a challenging task to do, but then I think that's what we are here for. When we come in B school, we seriously need to be proactive all the time. We need to know how to manage our academics and co-curricular activities at the same time. So if you apply for the program, so we really expect you to be proactive all the time, and also simultaneously be good at your academics and maintain everything at a very smooth level. So if you have any queries, you can reach out to us anytime regarding anything, and we'll be happy to help you regarding it. Thank you.
Thank you, champions. I think it would be wonderful if you had the CMO and the CIO and the CHRO and the CFO and all the COs come in and talk to you about how they run the company. Very rarely do we have all these 5 or 6 people together under one roof. It's very difficult for us to even approach one person. Now, I'd like to call upon Abraham and his team of chiefs to introduce this program called Samnidhi. Abraham, all of you.
I'd like to start off by paraphrasing one of our seniors, Bhavin Doshi, who was last year's Bloomberg champion. Now, I remember when he addressed my batch once, he had told us that this 2 very crucial years of your life that you're spending here in TAPMI. You can choose to pass your time away and the time will just fly by, or you can choose to make something remarkable out of the time that you spend over here. Now, on behalf of Samnidhi, I would like to welcome all of you and congratulate you to getting into TAPMI. Now, I'd like to start off by asking you, do the markets excite you? Equity markets, bond markets, ETFs, commodities. Now, you might not have in-depth knowledge about all of these, but that's what we hope to change. And what we want to know is that when you make an informed decision, when you make an analyzed decision, and you see that decision that you've made is giving you 5% returns, 10% returns, 50%, 200%, does that give you a rush? And can you handle the pressure when your value drops? Now, I'd like to tell you about Samnidhi. Samnidhi was the brainchild of Madhu sir, and it was given foundation in 2014. And I would also like to take this chance to thank Madhu sir and to thank Vishwanathan sir for their constant support and guidance that they provide us. Our vision is to be recognized as the best student-managed investment fund in India. And our mission is to provide the best learning experience to the student fraternity while generating superior returns. Now, what is Samnidhi? We are the only registered student-managed investment fund in India. Last year, as of February 2017, we managed a corpus of 2,17,000. And that corpus of 2,17,000 earned a return of 18.6% post-tax. Now, who are we? I'd like to introduce to you the rest of the board of directors as Fani Kumar, the Chief Review Officer, Danya Kumar, the Chief Investment Officer, Abhilasha Mathur, our Chief Human Resource Officer, and Dinesh Guna, our Chief Marketing Officer. Now, what do we do? One of our major core activities is the equity research that we conduct. And the equity research is divided into two teams that we have, the review team and the investment team. And they work in a system of checks and balances because any recommendation that is made by either team is then vetted by the other team. And teamwork. Teamwork is a very essential and crucial part here at Samnidhi because we are constantly discussing the decisions that we need to make and meeting, and we are constantly reviewing the recommendations that have to be made. Because it works in a system of checks and balances, it has to be taken up against each other. Now, then there is the real-time portfolio management. Essentially, the opportunity at Samnidhi would be to manage your batch, your immediate senior batch, and your immediate junior batch. You will be managing their corpus while you are here. Now, the knowledge transfer, which is one of the key points and which is one of the key takeaways that happen for most of the people that look forward to joining Samnidhi, is that now, essentially, as an analyst joins Samnidhi, they will be tagged to a senior analyst and they will work on that specific sector and they will be guided by the senior analyst on that sector. Then there will be training sessions conducted on specific topics that we have deemed necessary in order to create equity recommendations. And there is also knowledge transfers that happen in terms of when you're just having conversations with the rest of the team. Because you will know about your own sector and you will have conversations with others who know about their sector, and then that is where the knowledge sharing happens. And again, I'd like to highlight the superior returns that have been achieved of 18.6%, where we beat our benchmark, that is a CNX 100 last year. Now, how do we do this? The TAPMI Finance Lab is Samnidhi's most sacred place on campus. Now, I personally remember last year when I had gone to my hostel room at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, working on equity recommendations. You will not realize the power of information that you have on your fingertips at these terminals until you use them. They're truly remarkable. And now we're very excited to start working on Reuters terminals as well, the new terminals that have been installed. And again, I'd like to highlight expert sessions. Now, expert sessions happen with alumni and they also happen with industry stalwarts. Now, two that I would like to highlight would be, one, we had a session on how the trends and the future expectations from mutual fund markets and from exchange traded funds. And another one what we had was how to go about in a very structured manner going after each sector. Because each sector has its own specific way of looking at it, but there are aspects that you can apply to all of them. And the databases that we use. The databases include CRISIL, ProQuest, Prowess IQ, and various others. Now, this is the first year at Samnidhi. Now here I'd like to tell you what you can expect from us. Now there is a selection and induction that happens at first. It's a very demanding and rigorous selection process, which Madhu sir is also a part of, and we handpick the people that we are taking onto our team. Then there is an induction that happens where we welcome and induct everyone into our specific functioning and how we work and our guidelines that we follow. Then is the learning focus. As soon as you join, you will be directly jumping into the training sessions because you have to become very familiar with the work that has to be done very quickly and start making recommendations as soon as you join. Then at the end of the year, there will be performance management. For the first years, it will be a 270-degree performance management that happens, which is essentially an appraisal process. Now, I'd like to mention one more point, which is the same point I started with. You have two very crucial years at TAPMI. Please make them remarkable. And I'd like to pass it to Danya to give a closing note.
Thank you, Abraham. TAPMI believes in hands-on experience. That is what we call learning through experience. So here in Samnidhi, you learn all the Yeah, in the classrooms you learn all the concepts and you will get to hear what the company does, annual reports, financial statements in FMT1 and accounts, everything. But the thing is that you need to apply those concepts. You need to apply the macroeconomics and the micro, and how you're going to connect all these dots and how you're going to, centralize the company and analyze as a whole. So basically it will be you will be choosing the sector, you will be choosing the company, and you will be analyzing. If you feel that company is value and you can invest, you will invest in that. And once you are invest, you sit back and watch the money grow. So again, every action and every decision that you have a consequences. So if it is a good investment, we make money. If not, we will lose money. Again, each and every paisa that counts, because it is rise from the students and we are going to get back to the students. So we are accountable and you also accountable if you are part of a Samnidhi. And saying this, I welcome all of you for the 2017 and 19 batch, and we welcome you. Yeah. We are open to question and answer if you have any.
When do you start the selection and induction process?
For the committees and for the Samnidhi, we have 45 days rules. We will be like after 30 or 35 days, we will float the docs and we will update you on this. Yes? It is not about finance. Remember, if you have a passion for the market, irrespective of, even nowadays the doctors invest in a market. So that are completely different. There are doctors and they are investing in a capital markets. So if you have a passion for that and if you can do something about it, like if you want to really follow that, we are welcome to you. We have a marketing separately for the branding activities to take care of that. So it is part of it. Yes. Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you, Abraham and team. As such, it is very exciting to hear straight from the horse's mouth when you have so many chiefs out there. Even more if you are one of those chiefs. So we're hoping that maybe next year there will be a team from you who will be introducing Samnidhi to the freshmen of 2018-20 batch. Yes? All right, I can hear a lot of easy breathing. We've come to the end of induction, but this is just the beginning.